Good morning, Mid-Michigan. Thanks for waking up with us on this Monday, December 10th. I'm Jorma Duran. A Jackson man is expected to be formally charged today after he was arrested in Flint yesterday. Jalen Page was one of the fugitives featured in our exclusive Crime Stoppers report this week.
With Jorma Duran. Jorma, what can you tell us?
Lauren, the search is still active. In fact, more than 100 law enforcement officials involving numerous agencies are searching for the suspect both on the ground and in the air. Hundreds of residents in 6 Lansing neighborhoods received one of these today. It is a flood evacuation checklist, and as it says right here, serious flooding is possible in your neighborhood starting tomorrow. It may not be safe to stay in your home. Take a look behind me. This water was not here 2 hours ago. This is how much water has flooded the area in just that amount of time. And look at this. This water is moving. You're looking at active flooding right now. It's slow going. You can see some of the debris, but this is real. Mayor Andy Shore and Congressman Mike Bishop say it was very important for them to see the flooding firsthand. They also got to see it high in the sky with a helicopter ride. It helped them make a major decision yesterday that, according to Emergency Management Chief Mike Tobin, saved roughly 80% of the Urbandale area from taking on floodwaters, and it was the construction of this barrier you see right here at the intersection of Kalamazoo and US 127. Is one of the busiest intersections of all mid-Michigan. Okemos and Grand River is still waterlogged and shut down, but despite numerous road closure signs in every direction, cars still keep finding themselves here, and drivers continue to drive through this water, and that's not such a good idea because take a look at this. This is one of more than a dozen cars today that have had to have a tow truck operator come and pull them out, and this is really upsetting police. It's almost the weekend, and I'm here with Jenny Garoni with Celebration Cinema. We're going to talk about the new movies coming out this weekend. We got a lot of movies to talk about. Is there a name for this 10-rec?
This is 10-rec B. We have several. You notice he has a little green spot here so we can tell them apart.
10-rec B. He's like a rapper. Gas prices around mid-Michigan, neither good or bad news. They appear to be steady this Thursday morning. Lauren, right now you're looking at the Bucknell Bison. That's the team that MSU will face tomorrow night. And right there in the center, you see it all. March Madness. It has definitely started. Lauren, some people consider Judge Aquilina a hero. Others say she went too far. One of those people is fellow Ingham County Circuit Court Judge William Collette. He says he has no love for Larry Nassar, but feels Aquilina did a disservice to him and to the entire judicial process. The Catholic Church has been criticized for years for its handling of claims of child sexual abuse. Lansing Diocese Bishop Boyer will lead a prayer service at St. Mary Cathedral this morning. He's asking forgiveness for the sins bishops committed against children across the country. Wow, they went all out for us. We were expecting just Spanky. And there was everyone.
His name was Spanky.
We told Veronica, go through the haunted house.
That was really scary. I have secondhand fear at the moment. That was really frightening. Good for her.
All right, got it.
Good afternoon, everyone. 6 News anchor Jorma Duran live in Jackson, downtown Jackson at the Consumer Energies building. And what are we doing here? We're collecting food. Well, snowy, slippery, slow going out there on the roadways, but for some, super fun. Bottom line, Lauren, a day like today affects us all in one way or another. The snow never stopped, and neither did Dave Heidi. He runs Heidi's Snow Removal, a private operation that plans to plow more than 100 driveways and parking lots over the next few days, and that's just fine with him.
Love this stuff, you know. This is the best snow of the year.
On a much smaller scale,
take a little slice, crouch, use your knees.
Andrew Quinn is hard at work. Miles of mid-Michigan sidewalk will get shoveled through Sunday, a mandatory chore for most that Quinn says may include many shoveling sessions.
Before you know it, it's done for this time. I may be out here doing this later.
This winter storm will likely win snowiest of the season, even prompting Lansing Mayor Andy Shore to assure the people the city is prepared. Emergency Management Chief Michael Tobin agrees.
Yes, we were prepared. Like I said, we've been talking about this for a couple days.
Tobin and his team, that include first responders, are fully staffed and ready to act in case this storm causes unexpected chaos.
We made sure our plows were ready, our fire trucks were ready, ambulances, police vehicles.
But for area students, there's no stress at all. No school meant sledding and shredding on snowy hills.
Lots of snow. What more can you ask for?
And for kids like 5-year-old Nathan Lopez, nothing but fun.
We get to sled down, down.
Of course, for decision makers like Hannah Community Center Coordinator Elaine Hardy, these conditions may mean many events and activities planned for the weekend may unfortunately be called off.
We really try to take into consideration the safety, road conditions, what our emergency responders are telling us.
Yesterday was a good day.
Yeah. So I'm in a good mood.
Yeah.
How you doing?
It was a good weekend. It was nice to see some sunshine. It always helped make you feel a little bit better.
We thank you for it. Alrighty. Coming up, the Lansing City Council will have to pay severance to the former Lansing Housing Commissioner who resigned last week. Brett Kavanaugh finished his Senate confirmation hearings on Friday, and so here is what's next for the Supreme Court nominee. The East Lansing City Council will hold a meeting tonight discussing parking in the city and the amended brownfield plan for the Park District project. Lauren, it's called Truckers Against Trafficking, and their mission is to educate, equip, empower, and mobilize members of the trucking and busing industries to combat human trafficking. To put it simply, they teach truckers what to look for and who to call for help, and now eyes looking to rescue victims are multiplying by the minute. It takes a special kind of mind to move freight mile after mile.
And I've always loved driving. Probably always will.
Richard Harris has been hauling goods for nearly 20 years. He says a lot has changed in the trucking industry since he first started, both serious and silly.
And two, our horns are not as loud anymore. So that's not as loud on back in the day. You hit that horn, it was like, Mom!
But he's changed too, because truckers like Harris are now aware of a major problem deeply rooted in the trucking industry. Human trafficking is frequently found at truck stops.
It is a problem, and it's a problem here in Michigan.
And it's a crime Captain Michael Crum with the Michigan State Police has been working to stop for years. He says these locations are used by a transient customer base and is often hidden from view, providing enough enticement to bring in the pimps.
Now, unfortunately, truck stops and areas where there's large populations of males are an attractant to these people that would do this to these victims.
This one was back in a truck lot, and it didn't look typical.
But the secrets, signs, and symbols of human trafficking are hidden no more. In fact, more than 560,000 people are now TAT trained.
It's exciting because we are truly raising up this almost invisible army of everyday heroes.
Laura Cyrus is the operations manager for Truckers Against Trafficking, an awareness program educating drivers about the horror along the highways.
It's really about changing the hearts and minds of an industry really that has been seeing this crime happening for a long time, but giving them the tools to understand what they're looking for.
Cyrus says there are far more truckers than law enforcement on Michigan roadways, routinely stopping at places prone to women being pimped out. So by connecting truckers with the right information, it could save a victim's life.
And the idea behind this is that these men and women, they're already well trained, they're observant, they're vigilant, and they can absolutely provide an extra set of eyes and ears for law enforcement in recovering victims and having traffickers arrested.
Getting TAT trained involves understanding the problem, what signs to look for, and phone numbers to call to report something suspicious. This simple method to stop human trafficking has mobilized many, some with great influence in order to stop these crimes.
Making deliveries to people's homes.
This is Kristen Beck. She's the North American Road Logistics Modal Leader with Dow Chemical, meaning she manages tens of thousands of workers connected to the trucking industry and was moved after getting TAT trained.
When we learned about the program and we perused their training platform, we decided to make it a mandatory requirement for all of our service providers in North America.
So that means truckers not just in Michigan, but across every state in the continental U.S. attached to Dow is aware and watching. That may only get bigger.
Eventually, we'd like to take this global because it is a growing global crime, and we are a global company.
It's not just truckers either. While working on ways to remove human trafficking from Michigan, Captain Crum was also impacted by watching a TAT training video a few years back in Iowa and sprang into action.
We contacted every truck stop in the state. We contracted every rest area. We partnered with MDOT and the Secretary of State to make sure that these awareness videos and information gets out and disseminated.
The movement is working too. So far, 1,980 calls have been made to the national hotline by truckers. 557 cases have been generated, with 1,035 victims getting saved and identified. Stats that didn't exist before Truckers Against Trafficking. And now that Harris knows what's at stake, he's happy to keep his eyes both on the road and for those who may need his help.
If I had a family member that was, got, abducted or something like that, I would want people to be looking out for them, I would hope people, if they seen something, they would call and say something,
Now I want to show you this, Lauren, a very simple wallet brochure, and this is inside thousands and thousands of wallets right now in Michigan. It's a Truckers Against Trafficking informational piece providing reminders of red flags, phone numbers to call, and tips to remember if they see something suspicious. One of many tools truckers are now equipped with, and the number of people saved through this program shows that it's working.
Wow, it really is a great program, and what a great idea to get the truckers involved.
You got to get them involved. They're seeing this, and these numbers are there now, and they get to call, and it's working.
All right, thanks, Jorma.